She could hear everything else, of course. A towering wall with spiked crenellations separated the tall ships and their docks from the souk. Humans clamored to somehow cross over that wall and get to the trade on the other side. And the round ears flowed, like a noisy tide, into every crevice of the harbor. She could hear that just fine. All their slurs, their curses, their jokes about genitalia, all their wasted words on stinking breath. She could hear everything. Everything except them. They stood 200 paces away, two of them, tall and limber, their ears long and sharp as spears, skin dark and hair black. Humans had cruder names for them, as they did for her. Savages, beasts, oids. She knew them by the name Rifid had given them. Ko. Shikt, like her. They were standing right there. She could feel their dark eyes fixed upon her as she sat atop a stack of crates. They were but a quick stride away, and yet they may as well have been across the ocean. Their ears twitched like the antennae of insects. They were reaching out to her with the howling, the language without words, the communicative instinct shared between all shikts as breath.
"Huaish, pale sister," they were saying. "How far from home are you? There are no trees here. Come and let us embrace you. Come and be away from these reeking Kuru. Be amongst family. Be among your kind. Come to us."
At least, that was what she imagined them saying. She could feel the intent in their stares. They were trying to speak to her, and she heard nothing. And, feeling the red-hot shame in her own face, she pulled her broad-brimmed hat over her head and looked down. No one could say why a shikt lost the ability to use the howling. It wasn't something anyone ever talked about in her tribe when she left. There were theories, of course. Consumption of black herbs, a weak bloodline, prolonged contact with humans. That was the most popular theory. To breathe their air was to drink toxin. To take their gold was to invite infection. To feel the chill of their skin against the warmth of a shikt's own vibrant flesh? Well, she already knew what happened when she did that. She hopped off her perch and disappeared behind a stack of crates. A flutter of movement caught her eye, and she had to restrain herself from starting. Garyath had been standing so still, his black cloak blending into the shadow so seamlessly, she almost forgot he was there. One didn't notice Garyath in the same way one didn't notice a tree. One never really appreciated a creature of his size until he came crashing down on someone's head.
"No sign of them yet," Kataria said.
"Hope you don't mind staying here for a little while longer."
"I didn't."
Garyath's voice rumbled out of his hood in a deep growl.
"Until you came back."
Kataria glared at him and he snorted.
"How much longer?"
"Infiltrations take time."
"Grabbing a rock and bashing someone's head in takes only moments. But for some reason, we're trying to sneak in like rats."
"No one asked you."
"If they had, we'd be in already."
Kataria's sole response was an irate scowl. But it wasn't for Garyath. She didn't have the muscle for the kind of ire that he would warrant. Her irritation was for the fact that, despite the roaring curses and hateful mutters of the human tide, she could hear the sound of footsteps, light, wary strides moving quickly across stones. His footsteps. That she could always hear him might have given some other girl comfort. One who wasn't deaf to her own people. It just infuriated her.
"I smell failure," Garyath muttered.